I was just investigating when I found one of the items we are looking for. If you stop by the hall, I'll see if you are observant enough to take a look at it. The power's gone out, I'm afraid. No one's going to be able to talk to the butler while he's trying to get it back on. Jolly good hockey sticks, the power is back on. That butler knows his way around a utility box. Bully for him. You can talk now to the butler at your leisure. I've found another one of those items we are looking for. If you stop by the ballroom, I'll see if you are observant enough to take a look at it. Please gather in the study as quickly as you can. Strangely, the door to the secret passage has been forced open from the inside. Forced open rather violently, in fact. Curious, very curious. Coming! The guests were scared of the dark. They tried to stay with people who had candles, finding some comfort in the little light they afforded, I suppose. One more thing. I believe this item might help in your investigation. Hello. I remembered to put candelabras in the library and lounge. The candelabras are large, so those 2 rooms were always well lit. That gave the skittish guests some relief, at least. One more thing. I believe this item might help in your investigation. Good evening. Mr. Body locked up his jewellery after lunch. He thought it unwise to leave the items out with all of the strange goings-on in the house. One more thing. I believe this item might help in your investigation. Coming! Colonel Mustard and Mrs. Peacock always had candles with them, but were never in the same room together. I overheard the Colonel say that the dear Mrs. Peacock was getting on his nerves, I believe was the exact quote. One more thing. I believe this item might help in your investigation. Hello. The first time the lights went out, Mr. Body was entertaining all the guests and staff in the conservatory. The shadows cast by the trees frightened them all so much, they left the room and didn't go back. One more thing. I believe this item might help in your investigation. Good evening. Mr. Green, Lady Lavender, and the Colonel played a friendly game of billiards starting at dinner. They were quite enjoying themselves and didn't wrap up their game until right before they went to bed. In fact, I even had to serve them dinner in the billiard room. One more thing. I believe this item might help in your investigation. Coming! The second time the lights went out, Professor Plum spilt soup in his lap. But the other 3 diners managed to finish their meal without incident. One more thing. I believe this item might help in your investigation. Hello. The last time the lights went out was midnight, but by this point, everyone but Miss Scarlet had gone to bed. One more thing. I believe this item might help in your investigation.